All right, guys, it's Jesse Modz here with iHeart Radio Canada, here with Nathan and Matthew of Kings of Leon. First of all, guys, congrats on the success and the release of Can We Please Have Fun?
Thank you
Thank
so very
you.
much.
Thanks.
Exciting times.
I love how the album came about. I was reading there was no pressure to write or record, just you boys sitting down and wanting to put something together with good vibes and a mantra of having fun. How did that go about? And why was that the mantra going into this recording process for you guys?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We just wanted to go in and just make music and just have fun. We had been sitting around for a while, and it was just a text, a group chat, and we're like, let's just start, and let's just have fun. I feel like maybe it wasn't quite so fun in the past, and we maybe took ourselves too seriously, and so we were just like, let's just go have fun, let's make music and see what happens. And then Can We Please Have Fun happened.
And I think coming off the heels of When You See Yourself, that record was so different for us in the making of it, and then the world shutting down and having to sit on it for so long. And then when it finally did come out, you're like, oh, well, it's kind of like a toy you got for Christmas 2 years ago that you finally get to open and play with now. It's like, So when we had the opportunity to start, I think we knew at the end of When You See Yourself that we were already chomping at the bit to get in there and get something else fresh going. And yeah, I'd say going into this record, this was the most together we had ever been as far as being on the same page and creatively and all just in the same mindset of, man, let's go in there and just have a blast making this record. And there's no pressure on us at the time of making it. We did not have a record deal. We were in between labels, so we did not have that pressure of having to perform for the big wigs, all that shit. We just got to go in there and make the record we wanted to make and be as fun and goofy with it as we wanted to. And making the record with Kid Harpoon, who is truly a kid at heart, that brought so much to the process of just no pressure. It was just, let's go in there and make what we make and have fun doing it. And if we like the end result, awesome. If not, we start a new one tomorrow and have fun making that one too.
And I know obviously fun can be open to interpretation. What were you guys doing, to make the recording process fun, to have fun as a family? And I guess just as important, what are you guys gonna be doing to have fun going out on this big tour across North America you guys got planned?
Oh man, having fun in the studio. We're always pranksters and goofballs in the studio, whether it's a serious record or not. We like to play pranks on each other and stuff. And yeah, there was just a lot of that in this record, just the freedom to not feel like you are under the gun of this record has to be done by X amount of time. Yeah, like I said, man, it was like summer camp. Every day driving to the studio, I'd find myself grinning from ear to ear, like so excited to get in there and work each day. And that's not how it is on all records. Some records you're on the way to the studio of like, oh my God, we're having to play the song today that I don't like to play. And you got to get yourself pumped up for that. This was the total opposite of that. This was, man, every single day was just a choose your own adventure. And I think that came across in the record. You can tell that we just were having fun with it and enjoying ourselves in the process.
And if you're listening to, Can We Please Have Fun, or you've already listened to it right now, you'll notice that every song on the record isn't meant to be, loud and headbanging and rock it out. You guys slow it down a little bit with the tempo and write about some heavier parts of the human experience in songs like Don't Stop the Bleeding or Ballerina Radio. Was it just important for you guys to just kind of mix that up and write about exactly what you were feeling, having fun, writing songs like that as well?
Yeah, Caleb really brought the lyrics this time, some great lyrics, some heavier ones and ones that make you really think, and I think we were totally there for it. Ballerina Radio could be one of my favorite songs that he's written. I just love it. Yeah, there's definitely depth to the album. They're not all just like Mustang or Nothing to Do. There's definitely more depth. So yeah, that's always important for us, especially when you're making a record, because it can't. Well, in our opinions, a record can just be all the same, but in our records, we like to give you a few different sides of us,
Yeah, and I think Caleb really brought this record too, with lyrically like being vulnerable and writing about things that maybe he would not have in the past on certain records, because we're goofballs. To the outside world, we're pretty private. We kind of keep everything close to the close to the vest. And I think this is definitely the first record where Caleb kind of threw that out the window and was like, I'm going to write the lyrics that make this song the best song possible, even if that is exposing an ugly part of me, or writing about something that I'm maybe not comfortable with. Or, I mean, little known fact, Caleb is allergic to horses and cats. So the fact that Mustang and Kitty was even a real song is just amazing.
Pet dander.
Pet dander, yeah, any type of hair, just great.
Well, talking about Mustang, that's the first song that we heard from this new record, Can We Please Have Fun? It's the one that's hit radio first. What made that song the logical choice as the first song for you guys to release to everybody?
You can kind of tell. You play a song,
you could just tell.
You see a foot tapping or a head nodding, or you just kind of tell. Like our families are, my family is definitely I bounce things off of them, and they're brutally honest as well. My wife's an artist as well, musician, singer. So I can always tell when I play something for her, the difference in the, oh yeah, babe, that's something. Yeah, and the look of like, holy shit, what was that? Like, play that one again immediately for me. Yeah, Mustang, as soon as we played it, I mean, the first time we played it live before we recorded it, if you look around and everybody that's playing it is grinning from ear to ear, you're pretty much you're on to something. And that was one of those where we played that and we were like, holy shit. Ballerina Radio, same thing. We played that and listened back and we're like, oh my God. Like, it's not every record that you play and sit down and every song just moves you. Like, oh yeah, that's like, so it's special for us to make a record and have songs actually hit those parts of you that you haven't really felt in a minute. And it's like, wow, like I feel these parts when I hear songs from other people, but it's rare to feel that about yourself. It's like looking in the mirror and every now and then you're like, God damn, I'm handsome today. Like, yeah. And then some days you look in the mirror and you're like, oh my God, I need to wear a mask. But this record was one of those where it was just like, I was so proud to play it for my friends and my family and my wife. And that's always a good sign when you have that excited anticipation of they have no idea what they're about to experience.
You mentioned, playing it for friends and family and them getting to love it right away. As a dad myself, I know the influence kids can have on us personally and professionally. And I read that Caleb had played Mustang for your 4-year-old nephew and he was loving it. And then the thing was in the house was, well, if he loves it, my 4-year-old son, then everybody's going to love it. If this record takes off and becomes one of your best, are you going to run everything by Caleb's son to make sure he approves it all before it goes out?
Oh yeah. Winston, he's our sounding board. He's in touch with what's hip out there. Yeah, we all have kids now, so it is fun to play them for them and see them. My son is 5, so same thing. Yeah. I play it for him and he dances around and goes crazy. That's a good sign if a youngster can feel it like that, then a true music fan will definitely feel it.
I have a 13 and 11-year-old, and I do not want their opinion.
In Mustang too, you guys referenced Sylvan Park neighborhood where you guys used to live in Nashville. What do you guys remember about that time, and what made it so memorable that it made its way into the first song you guys released off this record?
I partied so hard when we lived in Sylvan Park.
Oh my God. Don't even get started with those stories.
Sylvan Park.
That was a crazy house.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was insane.
Trash cans. Caleb might have threw a trash can at my window one time.
Those were the days of like
pre-wives,
like partying all night long, and yeah, it was just like we would. That was like the party hard era where we would come home, stay up all night, that kind of.
Like our friends knew when we got off tour because they could check like, oh, Kingsley Hunter back home. It wasn't a question. Like our door was unlocked at all times. We had a keg in the living room. And our friends knew. They would just walk in and it was party time and we would do it. And I mean, it was the craziest thing because it was a tiny house and you would look up and whoever was playing in Nashville that night was just at our house. Like an artist that had just played at the Ryman that we didn't really even know. And they're like, oh, we heard this is the house to come to party in Nashville. And we're like, all right, this is the house. So I think the Sylvan Park reference just represent like the kicking over trash cans. That represents the kind of youthful cockiness we had back then when we lived there, and the world was our oyster.
Awesome. You know, I know everyone's so excited to see you guys on tour. You guys are making some stops in Canada, so thank you for including us. Congratulations on Can We Please Have Fun, Nathan and Matthew of Kings of Leon. Appreciate the time here, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, man.